Hey there, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us for this special edition of KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now, you usually see us in the mornings on Up with KREM, but we are very excited to be joining you on this special Halloween night.
Yeah.
So let's get started with our top story this evening because a major construction project in Spokane is wrapping up. A portion of East Sprague Avenue is reopening after more than half a year of work.
Our own Ian Smay spoke with the owner of a business on East Sprague about what it will mean for them.
A part of East Sprague has been closed for about 6 months. Trains and construction sounds have filled the air. But for the most part, cars haven't been able to use East Sprague from Grant Street to Division Street. The closure has been tough on local businesses located inside the construction zone.
It took a pretty significant hit. We do a lot of our business as to-go, which is helpful, but it's harder to carry multiple 6-packs of beer through a construction zone. So we did notice a lot of people just preferentially choosing other locations. So I'd say we dropped at least half of our business during construction.
Nally is one of the owners of Community Pint, a bar located inside the construction zone. It's safe to say she is happy to see the street reopen.
We're extremely excited. So one of the things that we love, obviously, is pouring beer to people, seeing people and getting to connect with them, and having it be easier for more people to get here is something that we can't wait for.
The closure, which happened in the middle of the pandemic, made it tough for businesses like Nally's, but thanks to the community, they made it through.
We're really lucky in that we have a lot of loyal customers who have come and supported us through all of it. We also do a lot to bring people in, so we take trips out of town to bring in unique product, and that has helped, but mostly just the community rallying around the places here to help keep us going throughout the construction.
This portion of East Sprague Avenue has been repaved and has a number of other improvements. Nally says that when the improvements started taking place, people started visiting the area more, even if they couldn't drive through.
I'd say that this area is incredibly different than it was before. So we've got amazing new streetlights, lots of cool trees and landscaping that's happened. So the area itself is really gorgeous.
In Spokane, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
The East Central community has such a rich history, from the culture to even the people.
It's why the Up with KREM team is kicking off a new series tomorrow morning called Up with Your Neighborhood.
So over the next 4 days, we are taking the show on the road to neighborhoods across the Inland Northwest.
We are taking a look at what makes each community so unique and special. And we're not just going for the photo op. We're meeting with locals and sharing their stories.
So tomorrow morning, we will start things off by visiting East Central. And you can join me, Tim, and Jeremy Monday morning on Up with KREM from 5 to 9 a.m. for this special series airing all this week.
All right, let's talk weather now.
Your local Storm Tracker 2 forecast.
It was a beautiful day for football, but now if you're probably wondering what the forecast looks like for trick-or-treaters, you're going to want to hear from Up with KREM meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for tonight's Halloween forecast. Hey there, Jeremy. Are we talking lots of layers and jackets, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, you know, for me, it's all about the layers, especially on a night like tonight. Now, there are a few things here that you can see as we take a look outside. One of those is that the flag's not really moving. And you might think, hey, that's a great thing. I don't have to battle any sort of wind chill tonight as things cool down. But that lack of wind and just how dry we are. Look at that dew point of 21. 21 is your dew point. That means temps are going to drop quickly as soon as we lose some of that heating from the sun. So all of these temps that you see, how about mid-40s in Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint, up near 50 in Wenatchee and Moses Lake, even Spokane, all of those are going to drop. So as you head out the door, I would say plan for temps near 40. As soon as that sun goes down, boom, down near 40, falling into the 30s by the time you make your way home tonight. It is going to cool down that quick. So yes, as Tim mentioned, bundle up, dress in layers, but the good news is you're not going to have to wear any sort of raincoat. So pro tip, put the layers under the costume so we can all still enjoy the costume itself. Because as temperatures drop, we stay dry, but it does cool down quick. So maybe a candy keeps you warm. I don't actually know if there's any science behind that. It's a bit of a bone-chilling cold tonight before we get another warm day tomorrow. Clouds build later tomorrow afternoon and evening. We'll see a chance of some light showers overnight Monday into Tuesday. Not much moisture, not much energy there, but still something worth taking a look at. Next 3 days, it's temps on the rise, chance of rain, and then a little bit cooler on Tuesday.
All right, and don't forget, Jeremy's giving out the big candy.
That's right.
Oh, got that in.
Come on over.
All right, let's get back to the Seahawks coverage because we are talking about Geno Smith. He is taking to the podium now at that press conference after today's big win.
I'm out there just doing my job and, trying to put us in the best position to win. So, the fans were amazing today. On Halloween, they came out. They were in full effect, had the costumes on, and it was great to get a win.
I know it's not about you, but your teammates in the last today, really, they've told us that they really wanted to support you and to rally around you as you try to figure it out and get this first win. What has it meant to you to feel their support since you became the starter here?
Honestly, they've been supportive since the day I got here. I said that the team embraced me, the city has embraced me, and it's honestly refreshing. It's really refreshing, man. Just, with the history I've had and, having gone to, 2 and 3 teams, just to have somewhere to settle in and to, really work and just get to know everybody, it's really refreshing. So, just having teammates these guys are tremendous in this locker room, win, lose, or draw. We stick together. We always play together. We always play to win. And, we got to win today. But just having those teammates like that, man, it just, it makes you want to do the right thing and always try and get the win.
In the moment, were you aware that you had completed your first 14 passes?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I always count. I'm always counting in my head. That's just kind of how I play the game. I've always played like that. I always count. You want to complete every single ball. That's the reality. Coach calls a pass, and I want to complete it badly. And some you got to throw away, just because you're doing the right thing. But reality is, it's in my head. Even in practice, I'm counting. Trying to make sure that I'm completing the majority of my passes.
So did you know by the end of the game, even without having to look, that you had completed 20?
No, I don't have to look up. I literally count in my head and I keep track of them.
So when you're rolling out there at 14 for 14, and they just spent the week yelling at you for taking a sack in the field goal range, are you thinking, well, here goes the streak, I got to throw it away? Were you doing that?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's doing the right thing. Honestly, it's doing the right thing. I'll throw it away if it was 28 for 28 because that's what it takes to win. So. And that's something I need to improve on, from last week. Took some sacks in some critical situations, and I had to get the ball away. And so that was the emphasis this week is, throwing the ball away if you got in trouble. And, I was able to do that a few times.
How different was this game plan compared to Monday night and the wind and rain and all that?
I think it was a lot different. It had to be. People don't want to take account for the wind and rain, but, it was real out there. You can't just go out there and try to, fling the ball all over the place. That's not realistic. So today we had a great day, great weather day, and, we were able to get our calls off early. We were able to be aggressive. The pass to Tyler was beautiful. Great call by Shane. And, we were just aggressive at the beginning of the game, and we stayed on it and pushed the tempo. And you could see how it really affected those guys.
Seems like you really had a
goal of the one you had been stoned by 3 running plays. The call, did you make the call on the sneak, or how did the conversation go with you and Shane?
Yeah, that was the play call, and I was just signaling for us to go for it. We had gotten down there. I think it was critical for us to get 7 in that situation and not settle for 3. And, when you put the ball, in the quarterback's hands, it's our job to get in the end zone. So I just felt like I could dive over, and we was able to get that done.
All right, Brenna Green joining us now to talk about the Seahawks' big game today. Brenna, a lot to talk about. And it was Halloween, and there was a lot of factors that made it difficult also. So let's break it down.
Yeah, the Seahawks exercised some demons today, as Gino just talked about, in their 31-7 win over Jacksonville. The main guy to scare off the boogeyman was the guy you just saw, Geno Smith. All treats, no tricks for him today. He went with his 2 most reliable receivers all day. DK Metcalf scored 2 touchdowns. My fantasy team says thank you. He had 43 yards on 6 receptions. Also was targeted 6 times, so he didn't drop a pass. Tyler Lockett didn't have any touchdowns, but he had a whopping 12 receptions for 142 yards. He was targeted 13 times, so that's also an impressive stat line. You add it up, that means DK and Tyler accounted for 18 of Geno's 20 completed passes. He was asked about it just a few seconds ago. Geno Smith finished 20 of 24 for 195 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown. Just an incredible day for those 3 players as they pretty much single-handedly led Seattle's offense. But hey, let's talk about the defense because they were equally impressive. They pitched a shutout up until a garbage time touchdown with under 2 minutes to go. Up until that drive, the Jags were held to 3 of 11 on 3rd down and went 0 for 3 on 4th down. Bobby Wagner led the team with 12 total tackles. They didn't have many sacks, but they did get to Trevor Lawrence. the entire game as they had 7 quarterback hits. And finally, here's perhaps the most fun play of the game. After the Jags score, they, for whatever reason, decided to kick an onside kick, and it did not go well. Travis Homer runs it back, gets his name in the box score. I haven't seen an onside kick touchdown in a hot minute, but here we are, just kind of the day, that kind of day for the Jags. By the way, post-game, Pete Carroll said that Russell Wilson's finger looks much better.
Nice.
Even with Geno's performance, of course, they want Russ back. That they have a bye this week, but Russell is eligible to come back and play for them in 2 weeks, get off the IR, the injured reserve. So we'll see if he can somehow make an incredible comeback. That would be a very, very quick turnaround for him.
Yeah.
But this is Russell Wilson we're talking about, and it would not surprise me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and Brenna will be tracking that for us the whole way through. Brenna, thank you. All right, more sports news to get to. The Gonzaga Bulldogs took the court for the first time in the 2021-2022 season today at the Kennel, and it was without head coach Mark Few. So Few is serving the first game of his 3-game suspension for a DUI citation in today's exhibition matchup against Eastern Oregon. Stepping up in his place is assistant coach Brian Michelson. That's happening until November 13th's matchup with 5th-ranked Texas. The Bulldogs, unsurprisingly, were dominant in today's game, winning 115-62. But of course, a different feel on the court without Few on the end of the bench. Here's Coach Michelson on what today was like for him.
It was interesting. You know, it's an exhibition, but to have a chance to coach at your alma mater is pretty cool, and you know, something that I really just tried to focus on the game, you know, like the best you can, and I think for the most part you get pretty caught up in the moment, but it was definitely a special opportunity, and obviously, you know, it's been a long time since someone else stood on that sideline, so it was a cool personal moment, but you know, what's important is this team and helping these guys out.
All right, and you're going to want to stick around for Creme 2 News at 6 and tonight at 10 and 11 for a post-game report from Travis Green inside the Kennel. Well, who needs to hit the gym when you can hit the couch and catch a scary movie? That kind of sounds like my style.
That's definitely my kind of workout. Now, a study finds a good scare could actually be just what you need to burn those calories.